If Indian agriculture is changing in its structure, contents, pace, and profitability, so is the world agriculture. Given some of the challenges I have mentioned, and the fact that of the total agriculture production, India contributes only about 8%, what is the way forward? What are the challenges? What are the opportunities? And what are the implications for a country like India? To share his thoughts on these issues is Dr. Peter Kenmore, the FAO representative in India. Dr. Kenmore, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bakshi. Thank you to NABARD and the distinguished, not only former chairs and governors that are here. Thank you for an opportunity to share some thoughts. Cotton in India, the yields are less than Pakistan's by 40 or so percent. They're only half of Bangladesh's, and they're only 1/3 of China's. I mean, that's the yield per hectare. So I think that, yes, because of area expansion, there's been an increase in total production, but there hasn't been this as a significant shift in the productivity frontier that would happen if things were pulled together better. The production increase is going to come out of the land we're occupying now. So that means we have to farm smarter, and we have to look at technologies that improve yield on a smaller and smaller set of resources, especially water. What does it mean? It means we have to look, as I said, for higher on-farm productivity with integrated technologies that more precisely control different aspects of production. Now, let's go into the third part where we talk about challenges for India. First challenge, basic food and nutritional security. The record quantity of food grains in 2011-12 was largely produced by expanding the Green Revolution technologies of the 70s to areas in India, in eastern India in particular, that had not been reached. The two states whose increase in production contributed most to getting over 100 million tons of rice total were Jharkhand and Bihar. Jharkhand doubled its rice production, and Bihar increased it by something like 60%. And so there were big changes, but again, these are areas where the Green Revolution technology had not been applied and which is being applied now. It is absolutely crucial that India grow its food in a way that uses less natural resources. First and foremost, water. India has probably got, and the kind of number people are talking about now that the Planning Commission is talking about, India probably has about 30% less water available to agriculture than was previously thought. So if we invest in technologies that farmers can use at farm level and at community level to better hold, share, and get production by smart choices on which crops to grow from the existing water, we can maintain and increase productivity and farm income even in a situation where you have very little classical irrigation. And I think it is an opportunity. It's not just a challenge, it's an opportunity. All this means look at increased farm efficiency, locally appropriate technological solutions, and cost-effective productivity increases. Look at how to increase the yield per unit land and per unit resource, whether it's water or nutrient. Groundwater. Water is one of those resources that we have to manage better. And managing groundwater is difficult because it's invisible. But in a good deal of India, including much of Maharashtra, but also much of Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka, the kinds of aquifers in which water is held, where the groundwater is sitting, are made up of harder rocks. And in those hard rock aquifers is only held 1 to 3 times the total annual use of water for a year. That means that many communities will run out of water if they make a poor decision on which crops to plant. Now, there are a number of interesting and innovative approaches. The one that I'm most familiar with is the AP Farmer Managed Groundwater System program, which is now evolving into a adaptation of climate change program. Here you can see farmer water scientists. These are the women in the upper left who are measuring water in a standard tube well, and they're measuring it as a group. And then you can see on the far upper right that they are posting the levels of water that they measure. They measure it once a month, and they post it all through the Kharif season. So that at the end of the Kharif season, before the Rabi season, in lower right, they have a group meeting, which includes hundreds of farmers from dozens of villages. And they share the results that they have measured. And basically, they come to a crop water budget scenario for the Rabi season. And in years, as have happened recently, like in 2008 and 9, depending on which district it was, when there's less water in the aquifer, that means that farmers, this is without any coercion, but farmers are given these numbers and then they can decide whether to grow paddy or to grow sunflowers. It turns out if you have less water and you grow sunflowers, you make more money, and the most important thing is you get your crop harvested. The point is that some ways of involving the farmers in a participatory manner, the farmers who became water scientists, 40% were women, and they trust each other's numbers better than they trusted the numbers they were getting before from their other sources of information. So it's thank you.